Hi, I am Kedger on two wheels, and I am back at MJ Paiva to test drive this. Yes, it is a 125 scooter. It is the Yamaha X-Max 125. Don't go away, because this is not going to be quite as boring as you might think. So, first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to start because I have stuff to do. This is my wife's gear. Will it fit in that? That's the very first thing. Because a scooter has to be practical. Otherwise, there's no point in being a scooter. Which coincidentally was the biggest gripe of people had with the Honda Integra, because it didn't fit even a jet helmet under the seat. At least the first version, the new version does. So this one has a seat open button, and whoa, that's big. Very cool idea. Instructions on how to do it. There's a screw here. I think the dealership is losing a few screws. And now let's see. Oh crap, I forgot her mohawk. That's probably not gonna fit. And yeah, everything's perfect. Her gloves are inside the helmet. And this is quite a lot of... And I could probably put two helmets and a jacket in here. And I could very likely put a helmet, jacket, pants, waterproofs. Wow, that's a lot of space in here. Please fit. And it does fit, even with the ponytail. Awesome. So, quick walk arounds. Not quite as quick, because on these it's important. First things first. This is a 4,600 euros 125. So this has to be a really good 125 because of the price range. Because you're reaching the price range of a 250, of a 300. You're reaching proper bike budget. So it really needs to be good. First thing I noticed, you've got dual headlights and you've got a really fat front tire. Front wheel is a... Where are the measurements? Oh, here they are. 120 width with a 15-inch rim, which is nice. 120 is the same as mine. Okay, it's a 15-inch wheel, but still, 120 front tire, very nice. And it is a Michelin City grip, so good tires, good measurements, big tires, fat tires at the front. Good. Rear tire. It is a... Do I read a 14 here? Yeah, that's a 1470, that's a 140 width rear tire and a 14-inch rim. So it's 140 at the rear, 120 at the front, which is quite a lot, considering that the normal bike tire is a 160 at the rear and 120 at the front. So this already has some proper tires. Even for 125, it's fat even for 125, which is nice. So I've been told, because I haven't seen the previous version, that this new 2014 version has a couple of extras. One, this is prettier. There's these little things to protect your hands from the winds. There's this extra button to control the onboard computer. And the fuel cap has been improved because it seemed to be awkward and opened by itself, and now it is lockable. Oh, you have two compartments. One lockable, one... Ooh, that's big. That's quite a big compartment there. Let's see. Unlock this one. Let's see if there are any treasures here. It's unlocked. Nice. Coolant level? What? Don't know. Whatever. Yeah. Fill the compartments for your cell phone and your wallet. So it's practical. That ticks the correct box. So let's go. I'm going to go and pick up my wife and see how this goes to up. It is a lot taller than I expected. I'd have to say it is as hard to reach the ground as the NC700. I am tippy-toeing on this, but it's because it's very wide. And the seat is fantastically comfortable. And I like the texture, it doesn't slip at all. Look, I'm moving the bike forward just by trying to slip on the seat. So, digital speedo, I like that. I have a rev counter on the scooter, don't know why. Seems to be a bit useless. I have a really hard to read dash in the center. Oh no, it's not a dash, it's the lights thingy. Yeah, it's a lights thingy. Everything is where it's supposed to be. You have your hazards, electrical starts, and your onboard computer. Onboard computer says, let's see, info. Air temperature 20 degrees, nice. Has a battery voltage, nice. It also, I'll show you this way. Okay, let's go with the 20 degrees Celsius air temperature. We have a clock. We also have voltage for the battery, very nice. We have the average consumption, kilometers per liter. This is not what I want. Can I change this? If I press select for a while, it should shift. No, I don't want to change the clock. Dick. How do I change this? Okay. Maybe if I hit it for a few moments. No. Maybe if I do the info. Or the trip. Oh, never mind. I'm being stupid. Look. It says 3.4 liters to 100 kilometers. It is, it's on the top range of the 125 range, but still this is a heavy machine. You have the instant consumption, you have the average speed, and you have your air temperature. I'm going to leave it at the average, and I'm going to reset the average, like so. So everything here is intuitive, or relatively intuitive. I'm a bit of a dick, that's why I couldn't get that. Reset the average, please. Reset the average, please, please. Please, maybe it needs to be off, like this. Yeah, welcome on board. Very funky. Reset, reset, please reset. I don't know how to reset this. That's a bit disappointing. Having to read the manual, it is a bit disappointing. So let's go. Engine start is smooth as silk. And it is heavier than the PCX, but it is also appears to be much easier to ride. No ABS, and strong rear brakes. Oh, the rear brakes are disc brakes. I'm pretty sure of that. I'll have to look, but I'm pretty sure I saw disc brakes at the rear. I didn't even notice it because it's standard, but it's standard on the big bikes, not on 125s. For example, the PCX doesn't have it, and the CBF doesn't have it, but this one has it, and that's why this one is 4,500 euros and the PCX is 2,500. It's because of these little details. An onboard computer is awesome. V-belt, oh, very nice. It shows you when to do your maintenance. Look, I know I'll have to change the V-belt in 11,000 kilometers. V-belt is the transmission on these scooters, if you don't know. You have the trip indicator, time indicator, and oil. I'll have to change the oil in 133 kilometers. Very cool. So this being a 125 scooter, it's always built for cityscaping, so I wonder if I can filter easily on this one. I should be able to. Yeah, it's really thin, as all 125s are. There's just one thing that's leaving me disappointed. I roll the throttle and nothing much happens, even compared with the PCX. Then again, the PCX is one of the fastest ones. I'm not sure of the power of this one, probably has more, but it's much heavier. Very likely to be heavier because it's way bigger. But on the other hand, I throttled up, didn't feel like much happened, then I looked down and I was already going relatively fast. Look, I'm at 80 already? No, this is no slouch. This goes fast enough for 125. Doesn't feel that though. Yeah, this works very nice for filtering. Use this one as a shield. It's very, very light, but it is a 125, so it's supposed to be light. Even so, it's got that fantastic quality which I like, which is stableness. So that tells me it's got a low center of gravity, because it's light turning like this, but it still feels stable. And I have to say, on that range it does feel much better than the PCX. A lot stabler. And I'm at full throttle trying to reach its maximum speed. It's a 125, okay, remember that? So it should, I would be surprised if it would do 120 kph. It's going there. It's going downhill, but it is going there. Thank you. He was signaling me to go past, but this isn't exactly a powerful engine. Takes me a while to overtake. But it is very stable at speed. That's another issue with the cheaper 125s, that when you reach 80, 90, you get a bit scared, because you get the feeling the bike is not liking it, and it seems to be very light. But I'm doing, okay, 80 is easy, but I was doing 100 and I was okay with it. And that comes very likely because of the fat tires. The brakes are pretty hard, as in, as soon as you touch the brake handle, it gets really stiff. But you don't need a lot of force to start braking, especially the rear one. So I'm pretty sure the rear one is a disc brake, because it is behaving very well indeed. Oh, by the way, the real competitor of this one is not the PCX, because the PCX is another market. The PCX is the cheap sub 3,000 or 2,500 euros-ish kind of 125. This is the maxi-scooter, and its true competitors are the Honda version of this, which I don't quite remember. I think it's the S-Wing. It's the SEAM GTS 125 and a few others. So comparing it with the PCX is a bit apples and oranges. It only really shares the displacement and little else. But it has to be at least twice as good, because it costs almost twice as much. It's very stable at low speeds. I can ride it almost stopped, and I'm really comfy. That's also another point over the PCX. It's easier to ride. As if that was possible, but it is. Even though it's fatter and harder to reach the ground on, I was almost stopped, and I had none of that having to wobble around the wheel to keep balanced. And it's much more spacious. So if for some reason you need a 125 that can also do some bigger journeys, well, this is it. This can actually do that. I could go slowly, enjoying myself, very calmly go on a 300-kilometer trip on one of these. Seat seems to be comfy, but I'll tell you more after 1 hour on it. Riding position is nice, because I can put my feet forwards and be on a chopper-ish like position, or feet down and be on a proper scooter position, or slightly back and be on a, I don't know, retard position. So it's spacious. I can move my legs around easily. Let's see how this goes here. Yeah, this is amazingly light. Come on, little 125, it's an uphill, you can do this. She can. Yeah. I'm really not used to the 125 capacity for sticking you into impossible situations like this. But this is not the spike, this is the displacement. There's only so much you can do with a 125 engine. So this is normal. I remember having these issues with my CBF 125. But on the other hand, compared to the 125s I had, doing that bend on my CBF 125 at 90 was an adventure. On this one, routine. So that's nice. It's nice cornering. That's a really good idea, putting fat tires on a 125. Yes, it tends to spend a bit more fuel, but the handling is worth it. So I picked her up, and Kajarine is at the back. Say hi. See? So let's see how this goes. 2 up. If you buy one of these, you'll probably want to ride with the passenger. And as I said, there she is, grabbing and opening my pocket so she can grab onto me. Well, I gotta tell you one thing for the 125s. Nothing beats the feel of having a woman grabbing onto you, squeezing herself onto you, because there's not much room at the back. Even though on this bike it does have quite a much more room at the back, which is, well, I'm not going to say disappointing, but rear passenger should have a lot more space. And she's starting to freak out because I'm leaning. Well, the engine does suffer a bit, but it's not unmanageable. And it rides exactly like with only one. Doesn't feel much heavier at all, which is nice. So this is a very, very steep uphill going 2 up. It still goes, does accelerate quite slowly, but it's still going. Engine performance does suffer with 2, but it's not a big deal. You just lose acceleration, but you can still easily go. It's not like unmanageable hill climbs and stuff. So this is a powerful engine. It's probably the 15 horsepower version, or it's in the 15 power range, most likely. Let's try a more spirited turn. I was trying to shift down now. And it does. That was fast. That particular bend I remember doing on my CBF 125, and I was always going 50 kph was too much. This one, easy peasy. So, final thoughts on this little beast. It is very good. It is a 125, but it's very stable. Handles great. It even handles slightly, dare I say, sporty, because you can lean it down and it's very stable and it does everything you want. It's comfortable. The seat is slightly stiffer than I'd like, because at some point, and I rode this for quite a while, my bum was beginning to go numb. So that was a bit disappointing. So it feels a bit stiff. It could be just me. On these things like helmet noise, you should research that on forums, on the forum for this particular model, and go check out if other people have the same complaint, because if they do, then it's the seat. If they don't, then it's my ass. So that seriously depends. The ride is very nice for a 125. It's a bit stiff if you're used to bigger bikes, and a bit uncomfortable if you're used to bigger bikes, but in the 125 world, it's very good. The engine is feels a bit weaker than you'd expect, because this is heavy, but the handling more than makes up for it. The engine does not feel as spiffy, as punchy as other 125s, but it does have a very good top speed, and it reaches that and maintains that, which is the most important part, very easily. being able to stay on the highway at between 100 and 110 even while doing an uphill is quite something. And the brakes are, as you can see, very, very good. These are big boys brakes. Disc brakes, front and rear, is not something that's usual on the 125. Oh, this leans so well, look. Just look at that. Very cool. This handles really well. So that's where you are paying the big bucks. Computer, dash, handling. And that's why this is... I'm doing this at 80. I would never have dared doing this at 80 with the other ones. Feels so... gives you so much confidence. It's really nice. I liked it. It's too bad it's that expensive, because this would be an awesome bike to learn on. But for it to be cheaper, it wouldn't be this. So there are no free lunches. And with that bombshell, okay, you're out.